it's cheap and happens so oh baby I'm doing them if so in the traffic.
Through this motto, I have seen a lot of development in my life.
It helped many people. It's not even we those who are selling alone.
That is a similar story you would find anywhere in Kumasi or Techiman or even Tamale. It reflects how the face of public transport is changing with the influx of these tricycles. Call them Aboboya or Pragia or Adedita in Kumasi and Techiman, and of course Yellow, popularly so called in Tamale. Along with the popularity, however, comes the dangers and inherent risks. At the hospitals, the number of casualties are soaring.
Every day, I think we receive about 5 cases every day. So you go to A&E and we see that there are about 4 or 5 cases lying there.
What are city authorities doing in the face of the rising risk levels involving these tricycles along Ghana's middle and northern belt? My name is Komla Adom, and I am on the road to explore the good, the bad, and the ugly side of tricycle transport. It's past 8 p.m. here at a makeshift loading base at Sepe Junction, a suburb of Kumasi. It's busy. Nighttime commuters are out on the road. 23-year-old Faisal Isaka and his colleague Pragia or Adedita riders are calling out for passengers. He's one of those young men who had to quit driving trotro or taxi to venture into tricycle operation.
The tricycle has become our source of transportation. I stopped driving trotro to do this, and so far it has been rewarding. We are able to save and cater for operational cost.
Me says in me pay through and me chop money the available tour. Jagana about your quite be one idea apply throw to an text yet me for an application.
The tricycle is able to enter the city corners.
And it is no surprise there are this many tricycle riders out here at this time of the night. Umar is 20. Even though he does not ride the tricycle, his role along this chain is popular. He is the loading boy.
There's nowhere in the country. So for the pragia, when the pragia comes, it helps the boys for them to get what to eat. But people to take it as their way that they do, and they make it. Even so many people married with this Adedita, and so many people go to our Hajj that they go. So they used to do many things.
Okay. So you as an individual, how long have you been here helping the people to load? And if they load like that, the people, if they load finish then go, then they give you money. How it benefits you too, or you to get a pragia song?
No.
Okay. So you don't get some.
I'm not the driver.
Also, let me tell you
understand.
Assuming this pragia, they stand here. If they stand here now, it will not be for me, it will not be for him. It will be for someone. We go load down. We will take 1 CD.
Okay.
1 CD.
Per load.
Yeah.
Per load. Maybe when we are going to a estate or dotty, that is where we always load, estate or not. So when you load and your brake is full, you have to pay us 50 pesos. But at times when the time is late, like this time, we used to collect 1 cedis.
Okay. So do you get people coming to take the price?
Yeah, always. They always come here. People always come here because the road is not good, so no car will go there. For now.
Okay.
When you maybe stand taxi, unless dropping, so they used to sacrifice themselves to take the people who go there because the road there is not good.
Few meters away from the loading bays, a mother with a baby strapped behind her back is waiting for a means of transport home after an evening church service.
Cheap and happens so oh baby I'm doing them if so the traffic. Do I 150 pesos.
Most say we super gano some move to many accidents.
And also so it's road there. But I say am I no man 10
in kind of my banny abobo ya say mo use motorway because of accident near the other. On money baby say abakuma say how o je ho say e be affect mo.
E be affect there but me sure.
This is a cheaper means of transport. It is also convenient, but if it is banned, it would affect us greatly. Even though it is the most common means of transport, the riders are sometimes reckless.
If you say go house no music car no, it made that maybe free turn at the accidents basa no. And I'm crying so much in it so no. Go on money perfect. It's a mobile and a beboa. But it was a better higher kakra there.
In the 40 or so minutes we've been here, it's been a swarm of tricycles going back and forth with passengers. Sometimes more passengers than the tricycle must take. It has led to regular brushes with the police.
Police there, because them we were chisa Brajabi say. I say first one, Omutoma Omona Okocha Oscar. I say what they call this office. What they call this office na no mula Simoto no mawa. I say Osa ye Samoto no license no.
The police often stops us and checks our documentation. Once you have a roadworthy certificate and license, you are good to go. We also need to observe road traffic regulations.
Your light now is the man. So one for that. Normal car say license. And police will stop who. I say what you say. What do you giant show police for? So what you nyack with trema police. No original, no thing in mirror and some now about catch on. Now observe say license when you cry. Now I change the license. So share the people and share us the Juma and I say we do it and I say we Nina we share the people with the Juma. If you catch us say why are there all lands for so but we also as only lands is Nina Ekasa.
Faiza Isaka and Umar the loading boy and their colleagues will be at it till midnight, while others continue till the break of dawn. It's 6 a.m. here in the Sokore Mampo municipality. While Dauda Akwelimawuga and his friends are busy moving from house to house, collecting refuse, the others are busy calling out passengers. Dauda and those like him are clear in their mind the role they play in ensuring sanitation in these inner cities. For some reason, they are not enthused about reports of a possible ban on their activities here.
If you are trying to amadi gugutan obi akura nante a na ho so obi na na de to nte ya nante sa no na ho so bi to na ya sesa de agum na ya bia ohun ya ngini sika.
Our community would have been filthy. People who will usually litter the neighborhood now keep the refuse and we would come and collect them.
Remember your time. It's a answer bebre
If they ban our activities, the Zongo communities would be filthy and the youth will go back to social vices.
58-year-old Hudu Yakubu believes these tricycle operators who cart refuse from house to house are complementing the efforts of the assembly.
Ama business bebre ekoso oman no first pa na aboboya no ho no na bola mini ye papa bola mini ye papa but yema kwan se aboboya sisa bola no ama bro no bia awko bia ni ehote.
I used to collect refuse with the tricycles. Before now, our communities were always dirty. But now their work is helping the assembly. The tricycles are also used for delivery services. I work with a company which assigns me to do deliveries with a tricycle, so it's been very helpful.
Ma asemi esi do fie na ya chura o number uti fie na e dia bro.
So here at Sawaba in Kumasi, Husseini is getting ready to ride these passengers, including the students, to their locations. And it is what you see here each morning, especially the school children who are eager to find their way from their homes to their schools. And this is their means of transport.
This transport is very well. It's helping us. It doesn't take out much time. It's helping us from one place to another. We can reach school without coming late.
This transport is help us too much. We doesn't go to school late. It helps us. This one is better because it doesn't take much time. It's also cheaper.
These tricycles are facilitating transportation from one place to the other in the capital. It is all you see at the fuel pumps, the traffic lights, the intersections, and in the street corners. Aminu Ibrahim Bamba, secretary to the Pragya and Okada Riders Union here, tells me their role in the lives of the people has become more prominent.
We are into city transportation, inner city transportation, transporting from short distances to the market center, to the schools, and so many inner city transportation. There are other unions that I know, but we are about 1,000 plus. And the rickshaw in Kumasi here is over 5,000 operating in Kumasi here. Looking at the costs, fuel consumption, it is very economical. And it has created a lot of jobs. Because looking at what a taxi would take from here, Aba Junction to Ababu Station, it will cost you about 3 cedis plus. But we take 1 cedi 50 pesos from here to Ababu Station. So if you look at the economic difference, it's very much affordable.
Myself, I'm a graduate. I did computer science, the university. But after my service, I didn't get any work to do. So I was roaming about when I decided to purchase this motor. And through this motor, I have seen a lot of development in my life. You understand, even through this motor, I got married. Even through this motor, I'm currently mobilizing myself to further my education. And not even me, I know a lot of graduates who are in this work. And even they prefer even remaining in this work than even going into like any sect to work. because of the benefit that they are getting in it.
Despite the benefits in the area of job creation and sustaining livelihoods of people here, this form of transportation is not regularized, even though Ghana's Road Traffic Regulations 2012 LI 2180 is clear. Article 1281 provides the licensing authority shall not register a motorcycle or tricycle to carry a fare-paying passenger. A person shall not use or permit a motorcycle or tricycle over which that person exercises control to be used for commercial purposes except for courier and delivery services. A person shall not ride on a motorcycle or tricycle as a fare-paying passenger. A person who contravenes sub-regulations 1, 2 or 3 commits an offence and is liable on summary conviction to a fine of not more than 25 penalty units or to a term of imprisonment of not more than 30 days or to both. In fact, on paper, they have been restricted from using some of the city's major roads, and these operators have unpleasant experiences with the law. I have come to the Ashanti Regional Police Headquarters to speak to Motor Traffic and Transport Department MTTD Commander, Superintendent Emmanuel Edubuahin, about enforcement of this restriction and how far the police has gone in sanitizing the space.
That one has not been materialized as far as the Ashanti region is concerned. In fact, I think it started somewhere, but here that hasn't been our focus now. Our focus is for them to obey the road traffic rules and regulations. Since we started special operation on the use of motorbikes and then the tricycles, I think the behavior is now far better than it used to be. Even though it is far better, we cannot say that we have been able to completely eliminate that kind of indiscipline. A lot of them are now complying, especially those who used to be riding on the shoulders and in the middle of the road. Most of them are now complying. Where we have a bit challenge is still on the Tafu Road and sometimes Abu stretch. But we have also been able to get some leadership and we have engaged them, and they are also doing very well. They have also started with their own local sensitization and education and engaging their people to behave the way they should, because we have warned them that until the behavior is changed, we will not allow anybody to go along with that kind of impunity any longer.
Superintendent Emmanuel Edubuahin recalls an incident involving one of these tricycles right before his eyes.
Remember one guy at dawn around 1 a.m. just at the city center here. He was riding this tricycle with earpiece, and then he crashed into a Sprinter bus which was loaded with cabbage from Kumasi to Accra, and then he died instantly. On several occasions, some of them, in fact, the way and manner that vehicle is constructed is not conducive to be used for carrying passengers. That's the safety aspect that we want to hammer. Even though there are several reasons for which people are using it, it is economical, it is affordable, it is accessible, and all those things. It's also give some kind of employment, which we do agree. However, we should also look at the safety aspect. So that is why we have been always advising that you need to be very careful when you are riding this kind of or this type of vehicle.
22-year-old Ibrahim is a victim of a motorcycle accident who has now found the pragya as a useful source of income since his left leg was amputated. With his crutches by his side, he plies the Sawaba stretch.
Me moto, na me to be moto 2 times. I know me ko shiwo, any accident in camp.
I had a motor accident 2 years ago and my leg was amputated. I was helpless and without a job until I discovered I could ride a tricycle.
First time na me nyo juma na de bia ma fun awo so me dwendwene sa.
Now I have a source of livelihood and I can cater for my family. If they ban our activities, it will cause us great trouble.
Ibrahim is one of a few lucky ones to have survived the crash. Many of them have lost their lives and are only remembered in times of giving statistics. And there are several more who have been maimed forever. In the Ashanti region, out of a total number of 357 persons killed in road accidents, motor and tricycle alone killed 104 between January and September 2021. Data from the MTTD show 29% of the accidents were attributed to motorbikes and tricycles. At the Accident and Emergency Center of a Konfanochi Teaching Hospital lay some of the faces behind the accident statistics. Trauma orthopedic surgeon here, Dr. Dominic Konedu Yeboah, has seen some of the worst injuries of victims of tricycle accidents here.
Road traffic trauma in Ghana is a major public health burden that has been claiming a number of lives, that has been causing a number of disabilities. This has been a long-standing problem which we are advocating for solution. Nonetheless, we have this added problem of motor tricycles, Pradia and then Abubuya. So in 2017, our data show that all the injuries that presented to the Konfanochi Teaching Hospital, tricycles were involved in 3%, only 3% of the injuries. But recently, as we speak, in 2021, tricycles account for about 15% of all injuries. So within a period of 4 years, it has risen from 3% to 15%. So it's soaring, and the rate at which it is rising is alarming. So we need to look at this issue of tricycles causing more injuries and causing more deaths, and see how we can stem the tide and help save lives. These tricycle accidents, when they happen, the injuries are severe. So sometimes you can see the injury and predict that this is most likely due to a tricycle. Because the feet are exposed, the legs are exposed, and sometimes the riders tend to fall off, or the tricycle tends to overturn. So the feet and the legs tend to be affected most of the time. So we have high energy injuries to the legs. They will come with what we call open fractures. Sometimes the leg may be mangled, or it may be amputated at the site. So most of the tricycle injuries that we see involve the legs. The legs are involved in about 35% of all the injuries that we record here as a result of tricycle accidents, Abubuya and then Praja.
The riders themselves admit they are vulnerable to accidents. Some of them lose their lives, and the source of livelihood for their dependents is cut out.
If anything comes new, people are not used to it. Operating it has to take time. So at the beginning, we had a lot of accidents. But as time goes on, education and the usage, people have come used to it and how to operate it. If we talk of accidents, though the statistics some time ago have showed that we have a greater percentage of accidents in terms of Ashanti region. But as we go forward, if you look at the vehicle accidents as compared to the tricycle, it outweighs the tricycle far.
But for those who are responsible for treating these injuries, it's far worse than the riders portray it.
So long as they get here alive, we do our best to keep them alive. But we can't save them all the time. When the injury is very severe, they come, sometimes we do our best, but we lose them. When it involves the limbs, we amputate the limb, they survive. But if it is so severe and multiple, sometimes you can have severe injuries to the head, severe injuries to the chest, severe injuries to the abdomen, all occurring in the same person. So in such multiply injured patients, the survival rate is low. We may do a lot, but most of them tend to succumb due to the multiplicity and severity of the injuries. And these are what we see from motorcycles and then motorbicycles and motor tricycle accidents.
Despite the accident fatalities, these tricycles, whether for transport, carting goods and refuse, have such a huge market here.
This is Alaba, one of the busiest enclaves for motorized tricycles and the pragya that transports individuals from one point to the other. It is also a hub where spare parts of these motorized tricycles are sold, and also fresh, brand new motorcycles are sold. We are here to understand from the perspective of those who deal in sale of these, how it is impacting their livelihoods and how this form of transportation has become the mainstay.
Alhaji Sumaila is a businessman who sells fresh tricycles in this enclave.
For they be a month for Betoa, they breed the Juma, Obitimi Tono, because, hey, Alhaji Mariam, Abuamo, Masanto Biakahu, and Hunto Chimada. A dependent said Obi said, obey you soon. Mina Bakuna, Gobet machine, I also one sorry no. Only say 100 Baku 15. And then dia, a month for the tomato, so Juma. Nipan within 6 months, who's improvement Abomwa.
Many people come to buy the tricycles from us. They attest to the fact that it has been helpful. One of my brothers takes care of about 15 tricycles because the business is booming. All you need is to render sales of 50 cedis a day. Multiply by 1 month, you are gone. By the end of the year, you would have offset the cost.
In the mobile, 60, 80, 70 years ago, Utimika, 80 years. Ansanka, Ebianka, Ejuma, Sabina, and Quebec, then, on pension.
It is good business. There are 60, 70, and 80-year-olds who still ride this. In the public sector, they would have been on retirement, so it has been beneficial.
And Yanua is said the population is Siban and Sakana and Kamisa. Cardibetia, Granka, traffic no wedding.
He and his other colleagues along this stretch have all the spare parts for motorbikes and tricycles on sale.
Fast no baby. Tushem kra. Bibia here be oba obenya bi wahia. Obia umi se bia nipa na asaya. Ebia on se bia wanya ne sesi na wonti mamboa de but bibia be se bia oba hia obenya bia to.
We have all the spare parts available here, and the cost of the parts are affordable. We have a lot of clients. We can sell as many as 10 tricycles in a week. So imagine all those on this lane.
I have met Mohammed Muntari also at Alaba. He is famed for managing more than 5 tricycles in and around this city.
8. You know, Ketika, but and your media, by media swim, but Obidia and the man. You season 50 cities every day.
I supervise operation of 8 tricycles, even though not all of them are mine. People entrust them into my care, so I get reliable people to ride them, and they make daily sales of 50 Ghana cedis. But these days, the buyers complain about the cost of the tricycle. But because of the increase in fuel prices, the cost of the tricycles has shot up.
I did press we call The be high. Dollar no kwa na no fuko. See at least Prague say at least 160 million all currency. 160.
Currently, one tricycle costs 16,000 cedis. It used to be 12,000 cedis. So you see, there has been 4,000 increase. The cost will continue to rise if the fuel price continues to spike.
It is almost like president, I'm a president in Buffon, and I should see Anthony Buffon. And I'm saying petrol in normal color. And I say, okay, see, there, so petrol is quite high there, and the issue about increasing fair.
It is big business, and the more the patronage, the more Muntari and Alhaji Sumaila remain in business. Aziz Abdul Wahab, however, is worried he may be out of business soon because of a talk about town that city authorities are mulling over a possible ban.
Our market is no more moving like how it was.
Why?
Simply because now the police, they are disturbing those who arrive, those who are riding. And two, we are also hearing that they said the government want to ban the Pragia. So because of that, those who were buying, now they are now afraid to buy. You see, so the market is no more moving like first. First, by 1 week, you can sell 10 or 6 or this. But this time around, you can sell only 3 or 2. You can even sit at all the weeks, you can't even sell one. But we are also seeing that the Pragia also help people here. Like where we stay, I know so many people there. They were sitting, smoking, roaming, picking, stealing. But now because of the Pragia, those people they are now focusing on their driving. Those who are smoking, they don't get time to smoke. I have one of our mother here. He was having one child. He was to smoke. Now he bought one Pragia for the medicine. The guy doesn't even have time to go and smoke or to do those things. So he even advised me that the Pragia is good, but we don't know. They are saying that our government want to ban it. So we don't have anything to say. So for my side, I know the Pragia, it helps many people. It's not even we those who are selling alone. You understand? So for me, the government should allow them to work. Because there is no job, there is no work in Ghana. I'm seeing that Kumasi here, the Pragia, it works, they help us a lot. So we should also understand and let them work. So that we those who are also selling, we will be selling to and be getting our small decent to feed our family.
I have been on the road, and this is the Ashanti Regional Capital. In some places like the Setra Plains area, some tricycles have been fabricated to serve as ambulances for some hard-to-reach areas. And so it's a clash of convenience, affordability, accessibility, safety, and a means of eking out a living. In the Bono East Regional Capital, the storylines are similar. Common form of transport here is the tricycle. In the central business districts, it's a competition for space among motorcyclists, tricycle riders, and a few vehicles. Like in Kumasi, these tricycles, I'm told, are banned from using the highways. But right here, we see a number of them. Even worse, people crammed in the bucket of some of these tricycles headed for a funeral. It's a Saturday. Head of a road safety authority in the Bono East region, Emmanuel Echampon Parry, is aware of the dangers. In fact, a staggering 51 people have already been killed this year alone from motorbike and tricycle crashes here.
In the region, since January to September, the region has recorded 208 crashes. Out of it, 144 comes from the motorcycles and the Pragia riders. And out of it, 88 people have lost their lives. And out of the 88, 51 people were killed by the motorbikes and the Pragia riders. In Techiman here, they have been banned from using the Kumasi highway, Kumasi road. And such areas too, they are not allowed to use it. So we are doing it in our own way in Techiman here. But we are also embarking on the education, making sure they do the right thing when they are riding. They are not jumping red lights. They are following traffic and they don't speed. And when they do all this, I don't think it will be a major problem talking about banning or not banning them. So as road safety, we train them. Last quarter, we trained about 500 of the Pragia riders. From there, we've seen some improvement in them. So we are working hand in hand with them. We are training them, we are educating them. Because most of them even don't know that they have to get license when they are riding. So with the education and electric enforcement, I think things will move better.
I am headed for the northern regional capital, Tamale, to meet the Tricycle Operators Union there. City authorities are battling congestion because of the sheer numbers of tricycles known popularly here as Yellow Yellow. It's a mix of motorbikes, tricycles used sometimes for carting goods and people, and then the rickshaw for passenger transport. I dare say you could find a lot more tricycles here in the capital than vehicles, at least from what I have seen already. Regional chairman of the Yellow Yellow Riders Union here, Seydou Idrisu, attests to this. He wants law enforcers to enforce the law instead of driving them away from the roads.
I like a man, the cat to Kufara pump, Bepanda Banka Katuma, Kajiti Bunana, Yo Puna, Manvar, Yo Yankata Sonte, Kalabin Mazaha.
Driving us from the road is not the best because we have people with degree and diploma certificates doing this work.
Those are yellow Mambo go to Gatan and come on. Bay Yarnatinum, Get traffic, baby, Yaraka, go and take out the Sonte and check out roadworks.
What should be done is for the National Road Safety and the Police Service to ensure users have roadworthy certificates to be able to use the road. The Assembly makes a lot of money from us to meet their developmental needs. Our challenge is the cost of buying the motorbike. It is now very expensive.
Businessmen at the Mawatara, officers have the Habika Park of Lornama, to the Melba, and Gana, can never to Maladra Fana. Little but there are Punica man and I found the Cataraga. Come at the station come.
For station chairman Amin Al Hassan, the issue of minors riding these tricycles is a real challenge they have to deal with.
Tiela, the Tumama Rivier Pum, Pumpo met the Pamana Canata Pasha Mata, Tumama Pabuan Renyanti. So katreboa nati miokonzanti gwamdanti kori yinata lete pamazo pumpo yele ma den yinama de fa nirbe pambahe.
A lot of the youth in this region now have work to do and are able to feed their families.
Katuma kabe yinga papa dorla yele ma de so yele ma na kana gana de fa nirbe pambahe de kema hali bantara turban be non ban shashanga de yebala de pune Karnier Kaban Shayelo Yeloma, the Zoto Surla Guamlanti, the Pamana Chen Shama, o yina tele nsong te kata tuma mala tumda kache pompon ayina nkutuma ka wontantian lu ay ko le pam la arka enya.
Yes, it's true, most of the users are minors and ride recklessly on the road, causing several avoidable accidents, which we are working to put measures in place to resolve. But stopping the business will be detrimental to our livelihood.
Ko yina te les en sont te pamma pour le dien cheka biaguma non vient yelgazante te kache to katuma tuishel ko kagana.
I heard that government is trying to stop this our tricycle business, and that is where we also made our way of surviving. Although some of us used to have our handwork doing before we even jump into this tricycle business. So now they are trying to stop us, and I want to understand, do we went out to other countries and bring it in, or government is aware of it? Because we pay taxes. We pay so many taxes to even the assemble. Fine. And now they are trying to stop the work. About 2 months to 3 months now, they asked us to go for license. We went and did the license. So now if they are trying to stop us from it, I don't know whether they'll bring us back our money and the vehicles money, or what are they going to do? Because some of us, maybe if they stop us from it, we can jump back into our skill work. Or maybe some of us were doing business, we can jump into it. So if I was a businessman and I invest my money into this tricycle business, and now you are asking me to stop the work, and I don't have the money back. So what am I going to do? You want me to go back to the house and be sitting in the house doing nothing? And I have a family. I have my wife and my children.
Municipal Chief Executive Officer for Tamale, Sule Salifu, admits, even though there is a congestion problem in the city, removing the tricycle operators is not the way to go in the immediate term.
We all agree that sometimes the users or the drivers of these yellow are children. They are supposed to be in school. They are not in school. That is an issue that we have to deal with. But you see, when it comes to that, parents do also have that responsibility of taking care of their children. But I'm saying that the importers or the business people who bring this yellow into the system must assist the assembly, must help the chiefs and people of the metro to manage affairs so that they can also be in business. So I'm going to engage them, and I'm sure that they will respond positively.
Unlike his counterparts in the Greater Accra region who have instituted a ban on the use of these tricycles on the motorway and other highways, Sule Salifu says a different approach could work.
For now, it will be difficult for the assembly because, like I told you, I'm going to engage the leadership of the yellow people to hear from them and to let them suggest to me how we can make their work easy and make Tamale a decent place. They should be able to tell me something. For instance, where do they want us to relocate them to? They should have an idea. What do they want the assembly to do for them so that their presence on the road will not be nuisance to commuters? I need to engage with them. Like I told you, they are our people. They are human beings. We need to respect them. They have ideas that we must get from them. One, they themselves know the nuisance they cause affects everybody. What do they want the assembly to do or help them to make Tamale a clean city? What will they do to stop the children from using these machines and go back to school? They should be able to tell us. If we do that with them, we'll have a permanent solution to the problem.
The decision by the Tamale Municipal Assembly not to clear out these tricycles by way of a ban means that several thousands of people who rely on this form of transport will still be in business, including 35-year-old Isahaku Rashid, who runs a mechanic shop for tricycles and motorbikes.
Because later because to 50 abang demi biak kan bumi kan mana. 50 years ago, 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 ka different person na ka bakanna because ne man ma ben yaram bel ma kara fiela ka cinanti yarba ka bakanna.
I have been doing this work for long before the yellow was introduced. The work is good because in a day, I am able to work on 50 to 100 bikes which I use to feed my family. I have also trained and passed some apprentices with over 20 of them still undergoing training. The yellow is now the easiest form of transport, which has come to stay, and we in the value chain are benefiting. Government should regularize it and not stop it.
So bande kar yellow nima the nahma nkwe yer ku nahma because dem kan tunda kam family sadira.
Many of the city's tricycle owners come here for their parts to be fixed. But what is the cost of allowing all these tricycles to operate on the roads without any proper scrutiny? Meet consultant orthopedic at the Tamale Teaching Hospital, Dr. Togu Yempab. He is alarmed at the daily casualties from tricycle accidents in the capital brought here.
Every day, I think we receive about 5 cases a day, every day. So you go to A&E and we see that there are about 4 or 5 cases lying there. Severe injured patient comes here, especially the motorbikes, the tricycle. There is the Motor King. So the majority of the cases that we are receiving are from those type of transport. And they come with a very severe injuries and the open fractures and also multifragmentary and the multiple injured patient. That means it's not only one bone that is fractured. So you have the humeral shaft fracture, you have a tibia, you have the femur. So one person will have all this, and sometimes it's bilateral, both sides. And if just before you enter here, you can see there are 2 people lying there, and they have this kind of injury, and they came here and we treated them. So some will come, looking at the severity of the injuries. You want to treat them, and they will tell you that they are going to the bone setter for treatment. So these are the challenges that we are having with some of our patients. A lot of them comes from also other regions, especially the Vrongo area. And when they are referring somebody from there, just have in mind that it's not only one side that is fractured, bilateral, and the segmental. You see, so the bone is fractured in different areas.
He wants measures put in place to properly regulate these tricycles and reduce the rate of accidents and further reduce the strain on the limited number of orthopedic surgeons available.
They have to look at the mode of transport and also try to not allow everybody, just because somebody can buy the motorbike for you or the Motor King, especially this prior, they call it yellow. Yes, so people, they don't even have the driving license or riding license. And they just use it because the brother or the friend can buy it for them. And so they are using it. They don't even know the regulations, how to, at the junction, how to go about it. You see people careful anyhow when you are driving. Even when you are in the car, if you don't pay attention to Tamale here, you have a lot of problem. Because you are going this way, and the person will curve without even looking at you coming. It's because they don't know. Currently, we are 3 orthopedic surgeons. In the northern, if the population, the 3 regions combined, is about 5 million. 5 million, and we have only 3 orthopedic surgeons divided. So one orthopedic surgeon for how many? More than 100,000. More than 100,000. You understand? So it's a challenge.
Well, as grim as these details appear, across the middle and northern belt, the riders want their operations regularized. Public Relations Officer for the Pragya and Okada Drivers Union in Kumasi, Alhassan Sidi, believes this could properly streamline their activities.
The government of the day is also benefiting more from this work that we are doing. Currently, you can go to DVLA and check. These are the data. I'm not talking about the general Ghana. In even Kumasi, not Ashanti region, we are more than 10,000. And each and every day, when you go to DVLA, you see cars coming to register, you see this motor. You see about 40 to 50 motors. That's the one you go, you see. They are there to register. They pay for road rates and the insurance. These tickets, each and every day we pay 1 CD. Each and every moving this tricycle pays 1 CD. So let's catch, assuming we are, let's say, 10,000. And every day we are buying this ticket for 1 CD. So how much is the government benefiting from us every day in a month? You see. And the secondly, even the municipality that we are running through, that is Esquaremampo, they have a sticker that we used to buy sometimes yearly. We pay for that one too. And the sticker, this ticket, this is for KME. You see KME on 8. Good. And initially, this municipal has its own ticket that we also buy as 1 Ghana CD too. You understand? So when you get all these things, you can see that even the government is benefiting on us even more than what we are benefiting from government. Now, when you go to fuel station, go and ask any filling station, those patrolling their fuel, it is this motor. And this work is boosting Ghana economy. So if government will look at the benefits on its angle, not even on our side, and regularize this work, I think it will help the youth. Initially, when you come to Ababu, there are a group that they call Arabagari. They don't work. So every blessed day you will see police patrol and military within the Ababu. They are chasing them because they are fighting with guns, cutlasses through this work. How long have you heard that there are some function fighting going on in Ababu? Because now everybody is working. So no one is sitting at a base. So now you see even the crime rate in our community has been reduced to 0 level.
Believe it or not, tricycles have changed the face of transportation in these areas. Its popularity has made other forms such as taxis and commercial buses almost extinct. And for many, cashing in on what is common is the way to go, to earn a living and to fend for themselves and their families. But increasingly, the human cost of this common form of transport is calling for an urgent fix, perhaps now or never, to deal with a tricycle nightmare. Komla Adum, On the Road, with assistance from Righteous Hamidu Karim, Ibrahim Abubakar, and Christopher Amwako.